Well, I first got interested after I had an amputation, and they used a fish skin graft to help it heal. It wasn't healing, and after they put that fish skin on, it just took off. And I thought, there's something special about this fish skin. I wonder what it is. And then shortly after that, my son started talking about the omega-3s and the imbalance between the omega and the 3 and the 6s. And anyway, he sent me literature, videos, things like that. And that's how I really got interested. And I was looking for a better way to have a better quality of life with less traditional, medications.
Well, it didn't take much motivation because I was having some health concerns and I had been praying. So Balance Oil was actually an answer to prayer. It was so bad that some of my sisters in Christ were actually saying I needed to go and have a blood transfusion because my iron levels were at 7.3. I wasn't getting any oxygen. There was shortness of breath. I was fatigued, sleeping all the time. Had to have ice all the time. My skin was pale. My hair was thinning. So it was really getting pretty bad. But I said, I'm going to trust the Lord. I want a natural remedy. I want to fix this through diet and supplementation. And so I just trusted the Lord and I prayed. And at that time, Zenzino just happened to come along. And so it was just an answer to my prayers.
I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia about 10 years ago, with a steady decrease in mobility and a steady increase in pain in daily living. With all of that, it got to the point where I was bedridden sometimes for 3 to 4 days at a time. Doctor had diagnosed me, put me on tramadol, gabapentin, and some other meds, and I suffered quite a bit with side effects from each of those meds. And it got to the point where my doctor said, I can't do anything else for you.
So I usually take my oil in the morning. If I forget, I do take it at night. But on a day-to-day basis, I feel a lot more productive. I don't feel as tired. I've been able to have more patients I see even throughout the day, and I don't feel exhausted after a long day at work, and I feel like I'm able to provide good care at work because I'm a nurse, and I feel like it's improved how I care for my patients too.
I have a great number of very painful, chronic health conditions, and in my experience every day with the omega-3, everything has been decreased. I've been able to come down off my medications. I don't take as much. I don't take it as often. My sleep was improved, and I had a terrible time sleeping because of the pain. And I would sleep, but I'd feel the pain, the whole time. Well, I sleep like a baby now, and plus, it was, I noticed that every day, I was much calmer, less anxious. So when you deal with chronic pain a lot, it gets to you after a while, and you sometimes get a little depressed. But now, most of the time, I'm feeling very, 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 very peaceful. And
well, of course, I've just noticed just so much more energy. I don't sleep all day. I'm up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I go do my exercise and have plenty of energy. I'm not sleeping until about maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. Just depends on how much I've done for the day.
Most days I don't have pain. I used to have throbbing pain, wrists, ankles, back, hips, and different things would pop up at different times. Since I started taking the Zenzino, the majority of days I have no pain, and when I do, it is minimal.
I think it's impacted it significantly because I didn't realize the detrimentals of your omega being so high and like the long-term effects of it. Because like in the day now, you don't think of like years down the road like what you'll feel like. And if I feel like this now at a young age, I don't want it to feel worse as I get older. So I think it's helped me to want to change everything now before it's too late.
I had kind of given up on my overall health being any better. I had kind of prepared myself for it to, to be progressively worse. But I can say that that's all changed now because the omega-3 oil, has given me hope, and of course my health is being renewed all the time, and I feel like I can live my best life.
I've just been able to see my body as a masterpiece. And it's so seeing it as a masterpiece that made me reflect on the master who created me. God says our bodies were fearfully and wonderfully made. And in reverence to God, I am to steward well what God has wonderfully made. I see my health and my body as gifts, and I'm to be a good steward over the Lord's gifts.
And would I recommend it to everyone else? Absolutely. In fact, I tell everybody that I have a chance to talk to.
Definitely. Anybody who has any kind of pain-related problem or diagnosis, I would say definitely try it.